So in the last class, we were discussing the mechanism of a disk, hard disk, how you can access your data from a hard disk, and what are the different naming conventions with respect to the disk. I am again repeating all those terms, like you will be having some surface like this, which is known as a platter. Then you will be having so many tracks on that platter. Track will be this looking like this type. There will be so many circular tracks like this. So whenever you are talking about any track, that means you are talking about a spherical area, circular area. So then on a track, there are so many sectors. You are dividing your track in different sectors. A unique data you can store on a sector. Any disk head that is used to read the data or the writing purposes, that can read or write a complete sector data at a time. Then this is the spindle. Spindle is a base uh, which is holding all the disk, and all the disk will be circulating in this fashion. Now this is disk arm, disk assembly, and read write head. Read write head, you can move it with the help of a arm. This arm will move it top and forth, forward and backward. Only this arm is used to change the tracks. You are directly changing the different tracks from here. But if you want to change the sector, your desired sector is here. First you are going to the particular track, and then you are rotating your disk in such a way that this particular sector is coming just under this read write head. Then only you will be able to read this data. So this is the working of a magnetic disk or your hard disk. So this is your seek time. Seek time means uh, the time taken when you are switching your tracks to move the disk arm for the desired to get the desired track. This time is known as seek time. Okay, this is sector and this is track. Then another time is rotational delay. You are rotating. So total time you can calculate. Seek time to get to the track. First you are getting your track, then the latency time, that means the rotational delay, how much time it will take to get the desired sector come under this head. Then the transfer time. Transfer time means for time start from the copying of data and pasting to your desired location. So all these times together will give you the total time, this total overhead for reading or writing data. Now next topic is disk scheduling. This scheduling means we are moving our head top and forth just to change the track, just to get the desired track. This is a mechanical device, disk arm. You are moving your head top and forth, top and back. So it will take some mechanical time. So you want to reduce that particular time. Actually, then you are transferring your data from one location to another. That will be fast because it is an electronic one. But here, some mechanical issues will be there. Mechanical issues means you want to rotate your disk and then you want to move your head top and back. That's why we need some this scheduling algorithm that will manage so that your head need to move less. If you are moving your head again and again, it will be time consuming for you. So we want our disk head movement less. For this disk head movement, we require some scheduling algorithm. Okay, that's why we are going to study this. The operating system tries to use hardware efficiently for disk drives having fast access time, disk bandwidth. Access time has two components, seek time and rotational latency. Want to minimize seek time. Here, seek time will be minimized. Seek time means disk head movement will be minimized. So, how your seek time will be managed? How your seek time will be managed? If your seek distance will be less, then again your seek time will be less in that case. Now, here we are starting disk scheduling algorithm. There are different types of algorithms. Mainly there are 6 algorithms we need to study in this class. Several algorithms exist to schedule the servicing of disk I/O request. We illustrate them with a request queue 0 to 199, and these are the requests. A head pointer starts at 53. Now you need to understand this problem. What is this? Your disk is having how many tracks? 200 tracks in this situation. The inner track is known as track 0, then your track number 1, then your track number 2, and similarly the last track is 199. 0 to 199 is the naming convention of the different tracks, and your system want to read the data in this order. First you want some data from 98 track, then you want some data 183 track, then you want some data from 37 tracks track number. Then these are the requests from the operating system. You need to read out the data in this order. Head pointer starts at 53 means currently your head is at 53 number track. Okay, your head is at 53 number track. Now you need to process all these tracks in such a way that your head movement is less. It will move less distance. Less distance means less time. First algorithm is first come first serve method. First come first serve. Okay, so queue is 98, 183, 37. This is a general queue we are taking for all the questions. This is the question. Now you need to draw a number line starting with 0 and ending at 199. 0 to 199 you are just drawing. Then you need to mark approximately all the numbers whatever is given according to the increasing order or the number line, you can say. 14 is the least one, here it should be 37, here 53 is the next one. 53, why 53? Because currently we are at 53. You also mark to you also have to mark this particular number. Then 65, 67, everything you are marking here on this number line. Then this method is FCFS. Currently you are at 53. Then you are going to 98, first value. In this order you need to move. Then you are going to 98. Yes, we are going to 98. Then you need to go to 183. Then you are going to 183 here. After 183, you need to go to 37. You are moving back to 37, then 122, then 14, then 124, then 65, then 67. So you are moving like this. Whatever your order is, you need to move in those positions only. Now we are drawing this. We are drawing like this. Why? Because whenever you are coming top to bottom, top to down, your time is increasing. To mention the time, we are making it like this. Whenever you are coming top to bottom, your time is increasing. It is taking some time. So this was your FCFS. Now, total head movement you need to count. Total head movement means 53 to 98. How many distance you have covered? 98 minus 53. 98 minus 53. Then 98 to 183. What is the distance covered? 98 to 183. 183 minus 98. Then you are going 183 to 37. What is the distance? 183 minus 37. No negative value will be there. Everything will be positive. We are counting this distance, the actual movement. Okay, actual movement is this one. Then 37 to 122, 122 minus 37. Similarly, you can calculate all those values. After adding all those values, you will be getting 640. So your total head movement will be 640 here in this FCFS case. Now next one is shortest seek time first. It selects request with minimum seek time from current head position. SSTF scheduling is a form of SGF scheduling. It may cause starvation of some requests. Illustration shows total head movement of 236 cylinders. Here we can manage all these things with only 236 cylinders. While in case of FCFS, it was 640. In SSTF, how we are managing? Again, we are drawing all the numbers. We are writing all the numbers on the number line according to the increasing order. You are starting at 53. Then you will check which number is closest to you, whether it is 37 or whether it is 65. Here you can see that if you are going to 65, it will be 12. If you are going to 37, it will be 16. So 12 will be less. We are going to 65. Now you are at 65. 67 is the nearest. You are going to 67. Now you are at 67. 67 to 37 and 67 to 98. Which one is closer? 67 to 37. It is 30. And here it is 31. Okay. So we are going back to 37 because it is closer to my current location. From here, 14 will be the close one. Then obviously no other uh, request is left here. So you are going to 98, 122, 124, 183. By totaling all these distances, you will calculate the total. It will be 236 cylinders. So this is nothing but a SSTF shortest seek time first. Where your distance will be less, you are directly going to that position. Then the scan scheduling. The disk are moves starts at one end of the disk, move toward the other end. Servicing requests head movement is reversed when it gets to the other end of the disk. Servicing continues. This is the theoretical part where you can understand within the numerical portion also. Here your total head movement will be 208. How? Let's see. Again, this is the request. You are plotting this in the number line. Scan. Scan means you are scanning all the area. Scanning means you are going to one direction and you are covering all the requests. Then you are returning back. So from 53, we may go right side first, then we may go left side first, left side. Here we are going left side first and then moving right side. Anywhere you may go. Now, this is the closest one, 0. That's why we are moving to 0. 53 we are currently requesting, currently using, then 37, then 14, then you will go up to 0. You will have to go until the end. Okay, that is a drawback of this scan scheduling. You are going to the 0, then again you are returning back 65, 67, 98, 122, 124, 183, and 183 stop. So here, when you will be adding the distance, it will come to 208, lesser than the SSTF, shortest seek time first. In this way, what you are doing, you are going to the one direction, then you are returning back from the last. Okay, that's the point here. It moves toward the other end, servicing request. Head movement is reversed when it gets to the other end of the disk. When you are going here, after reaching here or after reaching here, its direction will be reversed. We may go like this. First, we may taking request like this, then we are returning back to 14. We may do like this also. Both are in our control. So then the next one is C scan. That is a circular scan. Guys, 1 second, please. Yeah. In C scan, there is a little difference in between scan and C scan. In C scan, again the number line you are plotting, you are going to one direction, then you are returning back to the other end. It will be so fast in returning back. It will be so much fast that you cannot count this time duration. It will be negligible. From one end to another, it will cost around 0. Then you are returning back to your position, then servicing 14 and 37 from here. First you are going in one direction, then you are returning back to this other end, and then you are again starting your process. So you will not count this particular time when you are returning back to other position. Here, when we will be counting the total number of head movement, 53 to 65, 65 to 67, then 98, then 122, up to 199, and this time you will not count. That's why it is known as C scan. 1 second guys. So in this way, your total number of head movement will be less. Then the most advanced or second most powerful scanning is C-look. In C-look, it is similar to scan. C-look, sorry, it is similar to C-scan, where you are going to going in one direction. So here it is similar to C scan. You are going to one end and then you are returning back, and this time you won't count, then you are again servicing back. This is similar to C scan, but here the difference is you are not going until the up to the end, and you are not returning up to the this end. So you are this is a perfect one which you which other algorithms can't compete. But nowadays it is complex to go with exactly no time from this to this. We cannot say, we cannot show that from this position to this particular position you can go with exactly zero time, but from one end to other end you can go with a zero time. That don't need to worry about, because it is resetting of an particular hardware. Resetting is fast, but if you are fixing a particular value that you need to go from here to here, you need to manage some constraint that you cannot go beyond this, you cannot go or stop before that particular point. There will be a constraint like this. But resetting means one end to another, it can be covered with exact zero time. So this is all about the disk scheduling. Disk scheduling means how fast you can access your data from the disk. Uh, how it is done? With the help of less disk movement. When your disk movement will be less, it will be beneficial for you.